What's going on, Collider Games fans? I'm Caboose, and today what I got for you guys here is my review for Borderlands Remastered, or the Game of the Year edition as it's being titled. We had this officially announced just last week during PAX East, and now it is here. It is officially in our possession, and we were able to play it, so I wanted to sit down and review it and talk with you guys about it. So 10 long years ago, I was first introduced to this franchise. Borderlands was, for me, the first game I genuinely got into. It was the first game I just felt this constant urge to play. And now a decade later, it is back, looking better than ever on the current generation of consoles. And it's really hard to review this game and not just talk about what we already know is so good about it. The gameplay is smooth, the variety of guns always brings something new to the table, and you never know what type of weapon you're going to be picking up next, and there are so many different types of weapons to help the game keep constantly fresh. Couple this with the endless barrage of missions and things to do, and the next thing you know, you've sunk 40 to 50 hours into the game just like that. Obviously, the same 4 classes that we had in the original game are back. We got Lilith as the Siren, Roland as the Soldier, Brick as himself, and then Mordecai as the Hunter. All 4 of these classes play extremely different from one another, and it's really fun to be playing with a squad where all 4 of us are playing as each individual character and not doubling up. You know, we don't ever run 2 soldier classes, 2 bricks, or whatever, and it's a lot of fun to do that because each of these classes, each of these characters complement one another in specific ways, especially considering the different skill trees and the different builds that you can create for these characters. It is so much fun and really in-depth, more so than some people may think. And there are some new additions to this remaster, some great quality of life fixes that help improve it from the original game. The main fix that has been of an extreme help is the addition of a mini-map. This was something that was added to Borderlands 2, and if you were like me and jumped between the first and the second game, you'd realize how awful it was to be missing a minimap in the first game. Navigating with the compass and having to pull up the map constantly just to make sure I knew where I was going began to feel like a chore. I'm sure a minimap was priority number 1 at Gearbox when they initially started working on this remaster. We also got the addition of the auto pickup on ammo and money, which was again a feature that was in Borderlands 2, so definitely a given to have been added into this remaster. You still have to individually pick up the items if you were to open a locker or an ammo crate, but still it's just fine. It's great when I kill an enemy and he drops a ton of money, I can just run over and auto pickup, which was not a thing that you can do in the original game before it was remastered. And it's also good that you can just hold the pickup button and you'll automatically pick up the surrounding items just like that. So some great quality of life fixes have been added into the Borderlands remaster that help make it feel updated and on the current gen and very much like the games that came after it, you know, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. Last up on changes, supposedly at least, was to the final boss fight in the main story. In the original game, it was incredibly easy, and it gave the players nothing to feel engaged in. And Gearbox promised with the remaster that some tweaks were made to the boss battle to help it feel more challenging, thus making it more engaging. But it almost felt easier than the last time, and I didn't notice anything drastically different, so this was a big letdown for me. As for the upgrade in graphics, there definitely is one. However, it's very minimal, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The game looked great way back when, and it still looks good now. The cel-shaded style is what helped separate this game from the lot, and it gave it that unique feel. With that, nobody was ever worried about the graphics fidelity of being of the highest quality. Luckily, with Borderlands 1, the original, being backwards compatible on the Xbox One, I was able to jump between the original and the remaster just to see the difference, and in doing that, it is very noticeable. As for a few other just miscellaneous complaints, I did hear that a lot of the people over on the PlayStation 4 side of things were encountering some issues in playing with friends. I don't know if that's yet been resolved, but I'm sure that that is something that they're going to work to fix and make sure is functioning properly soon enough. And then over on the Xbox One X side of things, which is where I was playing the game, I actually did notice the game crashed a couple of times on me. In between loading into a new area, the game would just shut down completely, and I'd have to reboot it up, invite all my friends again so we can get back into the game. So that was a little bit annoying, and I don't know if that has something to do specifically with my hardware or if that has something to do with the game causing it to crash. But listen, all in all, this is exactly what I needed to scratch that Borderlands itch until September when we get our hands on Borderlands 3. Having this game fully remastered with all the incredible DLC content for $30 is a steal, and I could not recommend it more for anyone who is looking for an entryway into the franchise, or of course, if you are a Borderlands hardcore fan, this is a great way to get right back into it, and I'm sure it's going to have you feeling like it is for me to jump back into Borderlands 2 and then the pre-sequel. And hey, if you already own the original game on Steam, you're eligible for a free upgrade to the remaster. So a big shout outs to Gearbox for what they've done here, a real labor of love for Borderlands fans, and a great way to help us keep a little busy for these couple of months that we have to wait until Borderlands 3 is finally in our possession. I'm going to give this game what I would have given it had I reviewed it 10 years ago, and that is a 9 out of 10. And that's my review for Borderlands Remastered. Now I'm going to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Have you had a chance to play it? If so, what do you think about it? And if this review was something that you enjoyed, a positive rating would be appreciated. And you can subscribe to the Collider Games channel for more gaming coverage. And also, while you're at it, you can follow us on Twitter, linked in the description, at Collider Gaming. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.